E aí pessoal do YouTube, bem-vindos ao terceiro vídeo de Let's Play de The Stanley Parable. Vocês lembram do último vídeo, né, que eu deixei vocês... com muita vontade de ver o que ia acontecer, né, obviamente, eu sei que vocês já tenham jogado o jogo. Por quê? Porque eu cheguei nessa parte muito louca, que eu saí abrindo umas portas que não dava pra abrir antes. Muito louco, né? Muito louco. E também teve aquele PCzinho lá que eu apertei, tinha Input Received, e também deu pra abrir banheiro, lembro. Esse poema é muito lindo, né? Então vamos continuar descendo aquele elevador épico lá e ver o que se sucede, né? Aqui viu Input Received. Massa, né? Então vamos descer esse elevador, ver o que acontece, cara, porque não dá pra abrir isso antes. Agora eu não sei se eu posso vir pra cá, porque é a segunda vez que eu tô vindo na sala do meu chefe. Porque lembra que eu já fiz o final da Liberdade, é como eu tô chamando aquele final lá. Ou então se é porque eu tô no loop pós-Confusion Ending. Ó, que musiquinha mais agradável, ó. Será que esse aqui é o elevador que o narrador na demo se refere? Talvez. Porra, alguém falou comigo no Facebook, cara. Toma no cu, né, velho? Por que não me deixa em paz? Pessoa minha ou o narrador tá pressionando a música junto comigo? Opa, tem um botão. What the fuck? Eu voltei pro... What? Da hell, velho. Vou de novo. LOL. E vou montar meu Facebook, aliás. Ok, eu tô aqui há mais de 3 minutos. E eu tô com a leve impressão de que nada vai acontecer, então eu vou apertar de novo. E eu tô na mesma bosta de sala again. Cara, eu tô achando que isso aqui é tipo um simulador de elevador, não um elevador de verdade. What? Eu apertei pra cima! Eu não sabia que dava pra... Uou! Eu devia estar pra baixo aquela vez, eu acho. Será que agora dá alguma coisa? Deve escutar um narrador meio que cantando, né? Deixa eu apertar o de cima. What? Mesma bosta, cara. Vai tomar no cu. Eu não acredito, cara. No mesmo fucking lugar. Mas se eu apertar pra cima daqui e entrar. Aí a porta não fecha? Lol. Quero ir pra cima, cara. Pra cima, ok? Eu até peguei um lanchinho ali, velho. Quando eu dei essa pausinha básica no vídeo. Deixa eu comer aqui, rapidex. Nossa, que porra, esse prato todo engordurado. Me deu suquinho. Suco de laranja. Delícia. Quem entender referência ganha um biscoito. Tá, aperta pra cima. E tá no mesmo lugar. Vai tomar no cu de novo. Ok, então ideia. Tem uma fucking ideia. Eu vou entrar aqui.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Errei. Se eu errar demais, faz de novo?
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2, 8, 4, 5, it would be another story entirely. But no.
2, 8,
no,
4, 5.
This is what he was going to do instead.
6. Ha! Me mais pouco que ele fala.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2, 8, 4, 5.
Tô sempre errando o último número, como dá pra ver. Se não dá pra ver, você é um idiota.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Errei! Errei! Não vai falar mais nada não, seu puto?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story.
Uou!
Well,
Ah, achei que dá pra cair nesse buraco. Será que dá? Se eu apertar códigos de novo. Dá nada não. Só dá o cu. Bom, vamos chegar mais aqui. E pimba na cachola. Agora eu tô pensando, sabe o que eu vou fazer? Lembra aquela sala do Mind Control Facility? Tinha vários botões, deixa eu apertar os outros botões, ver o que acontece. Vamos dar uma bisoiada, né? E ver que diabo que acontece. Oh, yeah. Nessa parte vai um pouco de lag por causa do textura de fumaça, minha parte de vídeo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Será que eu vou tentar ainda nesse vídeo esse escape aqui? Talvez. Talvez eu tente, talvez não.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ou eu tenho. E você já viu isso acontecer uma vez, né, narrador? Oh yeah, você viu. Pimba.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed.
Cadê o meu? Cadê o meu?
Each bore the
427.
number of an employee in the building.
Olha lá, minha
Stanley's
sala.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley,
É minha
one
salinha.
of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Tô pensando, sabe quem é? Ao invés de clicar off, clicar em on. Lá no
Mind Control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Was it even possible? Was it?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh, yeah.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Toma no cu. Toma no cu. Vermelho. Se eu apertar esses botões aí, cara, tô com tanta curiosidade, acho que vou apertar eles. Ah, vou mesmo. 2. 1 e 2, hein? 1 e 2. Deu 3. Opa, tem uns 5. Será que estão escondidos em algum outro lugar? Apertei 1 e 2, hein? Deu 3. Será que tá Símbolo de brimstone, cara. Olha isso, que louco. Referência... Não necessária ao Binding of Isaac, mas... Porque esse símbolo não é do Binding of Isaac, pra falar a verdade, derp. Nada ali. 10, 6. Será que um triângulo representa o número 3? Talvez, é uma possibilidade. É uma vaga possibilidade. Ah, tem um botão 8 aqui, cara. Botão rosa. Tem um outro botão 8 aqui. Oh, fuck. Vou apertar o vermelho. Tô nem aí. Foda-se a vida. Vou apertar o 5 então. Apertar o botão 5 vezes não deu em nada. Vamos ver o que tem desse lado aqui. Explorar mais, né? Aqui botão número 3. Acho que eu tenho que reiniciar a ordem agora, velho. Mas cadê? Olha ali, ali tá o qual? Qual? 6? Vou começar de novo. 1, 2. O 3 tá ali. Que puzzle inteligente, hein? Ou não, né? Ou não. Onde é que tá o 3 mesmo, porra? Ali. 1, 2, 3. Ok. 3 apertado. Agora cadê o 4? Tá ali. Já vi. 4 bem aqui. Oh yeah. Let's do this. 4. Agora o 5. Where is the 5? Acho que é o que tá ali, né? Ali era 1 e o 2. E ali é o 5. Acho que só tem 5 botões. Vamos ver o que acontece. Nada. Só pode estar jogando comigo. Se eu entrar aqui, o que acontece? Vou ser abduzido. Tomar na bunda, cara. Eu boto um 6 então. Isso aqui. Eight. É um 8 ou uma letra G? Sei lá. Offline. Acho que eu tenho que ligar pra depois apertar esses botões. O quão idiota eu sou. O que é isso? Tá, agora é uma... De uma vez por todas eu vou ligar o Mind Control Facility. É isso que eu queria fazer desde o início, né? Ok, vamos ligar.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Oh yeah. Vamos ligar. Uhul!
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Eu sou ganancioso da
Stanley,
puta.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Eita, filho
It's
da
your time to
puta.
shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Fucker!
Mere moments until
Tem
the
que apertar
bomb
isso.
goes off.
Isso é o
But
chefão.
what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're
Deu
going.
3.
What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your
Ou pra me explicar as
co-workers
coisas.
are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die
Oh,
anyway.
ele vai falar.
I'll tell you
Legal.
exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Putz.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though.
Cara do mal,
This
velho.
version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are
valeu.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Tá, o botão amarelo.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no
3.
idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
What the fuck?
Or
Cadê o
did you
3?
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Claro que
I
é,
mean,
claro que
look
é.
at you. Running from button to button,
3.
screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Sold?
Cara, que porra,
Do
velho.
you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Vamos desfilmar,
But here's a
pera.
spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a
3.
cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to
vermelho.
control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so
2.
you can't.
Pera, isso quer dizer que o segundo.
Take a look at the clock.
What the
Stanley.
fuck, velho.
That's
Isso quer. Pera,
30
pera, pera.
seconds you have left to
Quer dizer que o
strike.
segundo botão.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Filho da
Will you
puta,
cling
velho.
desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
O segundo
Another
é o rosa.
choice. Make it count.
Acho que é isso que quer dizer. O
Or
terceiro é o
It's all
azul.
the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we
Filho da
fade in
puta, vai me matar
until the
mesmo,
moment
velho.
I say happily ever after.
Eu morri mesmo? Eu sou tão patético que eu não consegui ganhar a luta contra o chefão final, que é o narrador maldito. Filho da mãe. Resetou mesmo. Que
Someone
putinha
was following
safada.
Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It
What?
was only a matter
Lol, olha
of
o que ele tá
time.
falando agora. Vixe, mano, troço confuso. O que eu tinha que fazer, velho? O segundo botão rosa. Será que eles... Ah, não sei. Aqui eu queria dizer... A ordem dos botões pra mim, é isso? É isso, é isso, é isso, é isso, é isso, é isso, é isso.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Isso mesmo, door on his left, por quê? Porque eu vou matar você, Nado. Oh, yeah, vou te destruir. Vou te fuzilar, vou te estuprar.
Yet
Isso
there
eu vou
was not
fazer.
a single person here either.
E eu vou fazer, sabe como?
Feeling a
Correndo.
wave of disbelief,
Oh, yeah,
Stanley
isso aqui é.
decided to go up to his boss's office,
Não, dá pra abrir.
hoping he
Que
might
doido.
find an answer. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so
Não.
he turned around and got back on track.
Não, vou voltar não, cara. Derp. Vou ficar parado, ver o que você fala.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Uau. Vamos ver o que ele fala.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even
Oh, yeah.
doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Ué, posso interagir com a porta. E agora, tá satisfeito, cara?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Não vou te explicar porra nenhuma, não. Você me matou, cara. Será que você acha que eu esqueci? Ele é prático que eu esqueci, né?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
Pois é,
It
né?
didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story.
E a samambaia, cara? Falando em significância.
whatsoever.
E
I
a
never would have
samambaia?
thought to mention it.
Realmente tem nada pra
Maybe
interagir
to
aqui.
you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I
Lol,
hope your
she's
friend
the-
will find this concerning.
Tá, mas eu vou ter conseguido o final da sala de vassouras. E eles
Stanley
não,
was
viu?
fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Nossa.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Nossa, velho. Ficou pesado, hein? Você é órfão.
Well,
Pronto.
I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now.
What? Você morreu?
Dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care
entendi. Ele tá
of
falando que o
before it
jogador
begins
morreu.
to
Eu.
decompose.
Não, tô andando, cara.
Hello?
Eu tô andando.
Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Wow.
Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making
Nope.
sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
Caraca, isso foi
All right.
inteligente.
When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Nem vou. Mas eu não vou mesmo, vou ficar aqui dentro. Será que ele fala alguma coisa? Vou sair então.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Tá bom, agora eu vou matar esse narrador. Ele me entreteu um pouco com essa coisa das vassouras, mas agora eu vou matar ele. É definitivo. Dá pra abrir o banheiro? Ainda dá. Legal. Eita porra, é outro poema. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. So, that's a lovely purse. What the hell? Tenso. É tenso demais, eu me arrependo e bebo mesmo. Vamos ver se tem um input aqui. Não tem, não. Tava em 4 barrinhas, não tava? Oh yeah, I was. Vamos ver se dá pra subir no elevador agora. Peru. Bazonga. Papam, pam, param. Pam, param, pam, param. Pam, param, pam, param. Param, pa, 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 pa. Enough is enough. Ok, vazando. Não tem nada. Aparentemente esse elevador não é bosta nenhuma. A não ser que no final seja ficar 20 horas parado nele.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
What? Por quê?
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his
Código
knees,
logo.
bursting into half moans, half sobs. The gut. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Não, que
That
do mal que eu
kind
sou.
of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Nossa. Como é calmo. Que épico, um piano ainda.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
Dá pra cair aqui? Não dá pra cair aqui. Como eu queria cair ali. Ok, agora é a hora de matar o narrador. De vencer o narrador. De estuprar esse narrador. De destruir esse narrador. É agora que eu zero essa porra. Se é que existe um jeito de zerar esse jogo, né? Oh yeah. Vamos ver se eu consigo agora. Se eu consigo pelo menos manter minha mente no lugar enquanto eu tô lutando contra ele. Ok? Ok. Talvez vocês queiram ver o escape, né? Mas eu não vou. Nope. Nope. Eu vou pra lutar com ele de novo. Ou se vou.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Claro, sim.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
Ali minha tela de novo. Olha lá.
Reduced to images on a screen.
Doido, né?
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Caraca, tem uma tela cheia de erros ali, ó, que louco. Ok, it's time to go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Was it even possible?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Was it even possible?
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh yeah.
But here was the proof.
Agora de destruir esse narrador.
Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Agora
For he
eu vou acabar com esse cara.
dismantled the controls once and for all.
Nope, eu vou ligar.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Oh yeah, eu sou ganancioso.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go.
Ok, agora é hora de destruir esse cara, rachar ele no meio.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to
o que aparece aqui?
You are the
Unit
star.
1, press any key to send power to
Now.
surge.
Shape
Pra
it to
poner
your
pra isso,
heart's
pra cá.
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a
Ok, tem
shame
que
we
apertar
have
esse
so
botão,
little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means.
Amarelo.
I barely know where to start.
What?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Será que eu tenho que encontrar um azul com o número 3?
I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell
Vou
you
procurar
exactly what happened to
azul com o número
I
3.
erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the
Vamos
story.
ver.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you
Pera, o
try to make
terceiro é o
sense
azul,
of
talvez
everything
isso
and
signifique. O
take
terceiro é
back
o
the
azul.
control
O
wrested
segundo não era o
away from
rosa?
you. It's quite rich. I almost hate to see
Então vamos
it
tentar.
go.
O segundo era
I'm sure
rosa ou vermelho, sei
whatever I
lá.
come up with on the next
3
go
era
around
azul, né?
will be even
Então,
better.
grid.
My goodness,
What the
only
fuck?
34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it.
Que merda
I'm
que é
going to
essa,
put some
velho?
extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Cara, que bosta, velho. Que eu tenho que
Oh dear
apertar?
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea
Tá,
where
o
you're
botão
going
vermelhão
or
acho que eu
what
sei
you're
qual que é.
supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume
Botão
when you
vermelhão é
saw
meio
that
óbvio.
timer
Esse
that
aqui
something
não,
in this
pera, cadê
room
ele?
was capable of turning it off?
Cadê? Aqui.
Running from button to button,
What the
screen to
fuck?
screen, clicking on every little thing in this
Não
room.
consigo pensar o que eu tenho que
These
fazer.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door.
Ah, o
Everything.
segundo é o rosa. Talvez isso signifique que o segundo é um rosa, velho. Então será que eu tenho que anotar isso? Holy shit. Tá, o segundo é o rosa.
Anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any
Cara, que
idea what your
bosta.
purpose in this place is?
O primeiro é o azul.
But you really believe there's an answer?
Vamos tentar.
How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you
Cara,
fail.
mas que bosta. O que isso
Just
significa?
you and me in the retching explosion of fire and metal
falando
over
diferente.
and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Enable
That's 30
backup
seconds
power
you
to
have left
activate.
struggle. 30 seconds until a big
Como é que eu ativo isso, velho?
No ending here.
Será que tem que apertar os números?
Being blown to pieces. Will you
Porra,
cling
vai ter que
desperately
tentar.
to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make
13
it count.
segundos, velho. Não vai dar
Oh,
tempo.
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable
Cara, que
life
bosta,
from the moment
véi.
we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Morri de novo. Genial. Simplesmente genial. É, véi, essa batalha de chefão é meio tensa, velho. Vou demorar pra descobrir o que eu tenho que fazer nessa porra. Mas ou se vou. É, velho, eu empaquei nessa batalha de chefão. Não me dê spoiler, por favor, eu quero descobrir comigo mesmo.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit.
What the
Was
fuck?
it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Olha só, falta só um input. Isso é massa, isso é bem massa. O que será que acontece quando a gente chega no final daqueles inputs, né? O que será? Eis o enigma da vida. Não abri nenhuma porta, velho. Nenhuma porta, indeed. Podia ter alguma vez que o jogo inicia que a gente consegue abrir alguma porta, né? Legal. E agora, velho? Vou tentar... Quer saber? Acho que eu vou num caminho totalmente novo, foda-se. Eu vou num caminho totalmente novo.
Stanley
Eu sei
came to a
exatamente qual que eu
set
vou.
of two open. This was not the correct way to the
Eu sei
meeting
exatamente onde que eu
room,
vou,
and
velho.
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Exatamente.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sabe só onde que eu vou?
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Eu vou ali pra frente, ó. Eu lembro quando eu vim aqui a primeira vez, eu só me matei. Só isso que eu fiz.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hahaha. Ok, então aqui eu não vou me matar, eu vou seguir aqui na frente, simples. Eu não vou pular. Vou só subir
Look,
aqui.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Por quem?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put
ameaçando minha
your
mulher.
work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ela quem, cara? What the hell?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
E se eu não atender o telefone? Será que eu posso tirar ele da tomada?
As Stanley picked up the
posso.
phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Caralho, é pra tirar da tomada.
No,
Uou.
that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Velho, não acredito que isso
It's
funcionou.
definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand.
Primeira lição que eu faço com mim mesmo.
Meaningful choices. What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Oh.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Uau, vídeo de verdade.
It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Uau. Agora vamos poder praticar nossas escolhas, é isso? E o jogo parece que tá lagando pra caralho.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Low.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8.
Do you make more than 8?
Entendeu?
Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Eita.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Vamos ver. Qual seria a minha escolha correta?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't can't
Não,
have you
não
jumping
posso.
off the platform and dying. Imagine the main
Tenso.
character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Aí é tenso, né? Mas eu sou protegido agora, não posso morrer tipo, por nada. Ah, parece que as portas agora precisam de um leitor de cartão e eu não posso abri-las. Do not lie. If you are lying, right now, stop. Uau. Bom, parece que as coisas mudaram. Não, pera aí. Parece que as coisas não mudaram. Pelo menos não além daquela sala.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Uau. Ok.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Cara, se eu fizer a escolha errada. Eu vou fazer a escolha errada.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other
Bugou
direction.
tudo,
Perhaps
véi.
we're not too late.
Ah, bugou tudo, otário. Bugou tudo. Mas eu quero que buga tudo mesmo, velho. Ah, nem, cara. Eu queria explodir o jogo e bugar ele e estourar a vida. Cara, que noia, velho. Bem feito isso. Muito bem feito. Tá, mas parece que vou ter que ser obrigado, né? Ir na porta da direita. Da esquerda, quer dizer. Então vamos embora, né? Talvez tenha bugado mesmo. Ou não, né? Acho que as coisas consertaram. Infelizmente. Queria que bugasse. Como eu queria que bugasse. Ah, bugou.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of
Que
that?
doido, velho.
What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
É, massa, cara.
It's
Foda-se.
worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Filho da puta.
I have to.
Eita porra. Esse barulho, velho. Será que isso aqui é do Confusion Ending? Vixe, mano. Que trem do malzão.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where
Caraca,
we
que
are.
do mal, velho.
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Foda-se
He actually
você.
knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Foda-se você,
That
cara.
thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you?
Nope.
You're a child.
Isso soou como xingamento pra você, porque se soou você é um preconceituoso, hein, cara.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so
Será que dá pra
hard
ganhar
on it.
mesmo se eu fizer
I
aquilo?
tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
What the
first.
fuck?
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eu vou pro direito de novo, yay.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Ah,
That
eu
means
vou pro direito de
choosing
novo, cara.
responsibly
Vou pro
and
direito de
always
novo.
putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Eu vou pro direito
Just
de
follow
novo,
my lead and
bitch.
you'll be fine. All all right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He went to the door on his right. Oh, yeah.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Tá me zoando, né?
His behavior.
Parece que bugou o jogo de verdade agora.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eita porra. Era pro jogo tá escuro assim? Era pro jogo tá escuro assim? What the fuck? What the fuck? Mas dizer que eu buguei o jogo de verdade. Eu sou foda, hein? Meu Deus. Consegui bugar da Stanley Parable, tipo, monstruosamente. Eita porra, o item input, olha só. Eita, nós, o que vai acontecer? Eita porra. Esse é o paraíso, olha tanto de botões coloridos pra apertar. Meu Deus. Que coisa linda. Olha os sons que eles fazem. Olha que sons legais. Vou apertar todos. Eu vou apertar todos. Será que eu ganho alguma coisa com isso? Velho. Isso que eu ganho com aquilo. Eu tive que fingir que eu tava feliz. Isso não é nada demais, cara. Foi surpreendente? Foi. Mas cadê a diversão? Cadê a diversão? Cadê minha diversão? Não tá aqui. Narradorzinho de uma figa. Era isso que eu ganhava com conseguir todos os inputs. Eu posso fazer de novo. Eu acho que eu vou pro mesmo lugar. Mas como eu sou idiota. Nossa senhora, velho. Welcome Stanley to heaven. Foda-se, eu quero ir pro inferno, não paraíso. Tá, então agora acho que eu habilitei isso pra sempre. Interessante. Bem interessante. Parece que sim. Oh, fuck. Não, acredito que fiz isso. Não. Eu queria ter apertado. Eu não tava mirando exatamente pra aquilo, que desgraça. Enough is enough. Sei nem quanto tempo de vídeo tem, velho. Sei que foi meio tenso isso. Eu fiz tantos finais estranhos, velho. What the fuck? Esse jogo tá me explodindo minha mente mais que tudo já. Não sei mais o que fazer. Jesus.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Foi uma coisa diferente, hein?
No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Interessante. Podia ter bugado o mundo ainda, cara. Tava gostando do mundo bugado. Será que quando resetou aquilo lá eu podia ter ido pra esquerda? Será ou não?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Ok. Já tem muito tempo de vídeo nesse segundo vídeo. Nós exploramos bastante Stanley Parable, apesar de eu ter falhado pra caralho no chefão.
Stanley felt lightheaded. Butterflies
Nossa,
in
tá
his
falando coisa diferente pra caralho.
stomach,
Olha
giddy
só.
in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Então, mas acho que o que me resta fazer no próximo vídeo seria atender o telefone, ver o que acontece, não atender o telefone, ver aquilo tudo de novo, para ver o mundo bugado. E quando ele pedir para ir de novo, eu ir para a esquerda em vez de para a direita. Acho que isso que eu vou fazer no próximo vídeo. Acho que é exatamente isso que eu vou fazer no próximo vídeo. Então, fica até o próximo episódio de The Stanley Parable. Espero que vocês tenham gostado da confusão e do mindfuck explodência que está acontecendo em cada episódio. Espero que vocês não me deem porra de spoilers nos comentários, por favor. Eu peço tudo que há de mais estragado. Eu ainda não fui aqui, eu fui. Não, né? Também posso fazer esse próximo episódio, caso eu queira. Mas então, fica até o próximo episódio de The Stanley Parable Let's Play. Espero que a cabeça das pessoas não esteja explodindo como a minha está. E não deem spoilers, por favor, não deem spoilers, ok? Eu quero explorar isso aqui tudo sozinho. Então, falou!